Welcome to today's Explainer. When we talk about the AI boom, it is so easy to get completely swept up in the flashy generative models and those big software applications that are absolutely dominating the headlines right now. But there's a physical reality to AI too. There is a massive foundational layer of hardware that actually makes all of this insane computation possible. So today, we are going to unpack the latest Q2 2026 financial results of a company that's providing the literal plumbing for this entire revolution. That company is Rambus. And as we're about to see, the AI boom is hitting their balance sheet in a truly historic way. Let's just dive right in.
$207.4 million. Let that sink in for a second. That is Rambus's revenue for the second quarter of 2026. This isn't just, a pretty good quarter. This is a record-shattering number that completely rewrites their own expectations. Seriously, their internal guidance for the quarter was a range of $192 million to $198 million. Beating your top-end revenue guidance by nearly $10 million, that is not a rounding error. It's a massive, glaring signal to the broader market that demand for their core technology is accelerating way faster than even their own internal models predicted. To put that $207 million into perspective, we are talking about a staggering 20% year-over-year revenue jump. But hey, top-line growth is just vanity if you aren't actually making a profit, right? Well, Rambus delivered a record 77 cents in earnings per share. That is a 24% jump compared to this exact same time last year. So they aren't just selling more stuff, they are rapidly scaling their profitability while they do it. It's the kind of validating wow factor that investors absolutely love to see.
Okay, so where is all this cash actually coming from? If we break the revenue down, it basically falls into three main buckets. You've got contract revenue bringing in $24 million, royalties sitting strong at $84.2 million, and then the absolute star of the show, product revenue, hitting a record $99.2 million. Product revenue was up 13% sequentially from just last quarter alone and up 22% year over year. This tells us something incredibly important. Rambus is not just sitting back and coasting on legacy patents or old royalties. They are actively designing, shipping, and selling physical semiconductor products that the market is just hungrily buying up right now.
And the specific catalyst behind this absolute explosion in product sales? Well, to understand that, we just have to listen to their CEO, Luke Serafin. He recently stated that the company is perfectly positioned to capitalize on the strong secular trends driven by the rapid expansion of AI inference and agentic workloads. That quote perfectly humanizes all these financial numbers. Serafin is pointing directly at the data center. See, as AI moves from just being trained in a lab to actually being deployed out in the real world, which is what we call AI inference, and as we see this huge rise in complex autonomous AI agents, the physical strain on computing infrastructure is immense, and that strain is exactly what's driving these record product sales.
So what exactly are they building to handle this? Well, in Q2, Rambus massively expanded its product and intellectual property offerings for next-generation AI systems. We're talking complete chipsets for DDR5 9600 memory modules and some major advancements in their PCIe 7 switch IP. Now, without getting bogged down in the super deep engineering weeds here, just know that DDR5 and PCIe 7 are the absolute cutting-edge standards for how memory and data actually communicate inside a computer. These aren't just tiny incremental upgrades. We're talking about the ultra-high-speed data highways required to make the next generation of AI servers actually function.
Now, you might be wondering, why on earth does AI need these new ultra-fast memory modules in the first place? Think about it like this. Legacy data processing was kind of like a standard two-lane city street. It worked perfectly fine for normal cloud computing, everyday apps, no big deal. But AI infrastructure demands, that's like a 10-lane superhighway with zero speed limit. AI workloads require just massive, unbelievable amounts of data to be moved from memory directly into the processor almost instantaneously. If that data can't move fast enough, those incredibly expensive AI processors just sit there completely idle, waiting around. That's the dreaded data bottleneck, and Rambus provides the critical, high-speed plumbing that prevents those bottlenecks, which ensures that these multi-million-dollar AI data centers can actually operate at full capacity.
In this right here is exactly why Rambus's core mission, making data faster and safer, is absolutely not just some corporate marketing fluff. It is quite literally the fundamental technical requirement of the current computing era. As the insanely data-intensive workloads of AI keep scaling up, the entire tech industry is relying on companies exactly like Rambus to break down the physical barriers between memory and processing. They have made themselves completely indispensable to the hardware foundation of this entire AI boom.
Naturally, when you're the go-to provider for something as crucial, it does incredible things for your financial health. That $207 million in revenue we talked about, that translated directly to over $93 million in operating income. And because they are running such a tight, highly profitable operation, it drove over $61 million in solid cash generation in just this one quarter alone. High demand is leading to high revenue, which in turn is driving immense, consistent cash flow straight to the bottom line.
So by the time Q2 wrapped up, Rambus had built a war chest of nearly $825 million in total cash and marketable securities. But here is the real superpower on their balance sheet, the thing that really stands out. They are completely debt-free. Having over $800 million in the bank with literally zero debt gives a tech company an unbelievable amount of leverage and safety. It fuels their growth initiatives. It lets them fund the super heavy R&D you need to stay ahead in the fiercely competitive semiconductor space. And honestly, it just provides a massive cushion to consistently return value to their stockholders.
So the obvious question, is this just a one-off spike or does the momentum keep going? Well, looking at their Q3 outlook, the answer is a resounding no, it is not stopping. Rambus expects total revenue to climb even higher next quarter, projecting somewhere between $210 and $216 million. And again, that's driven heavily by sustained product sales. They're projecting continued, highly profitable growth too, with non-GAAP earnings per share expected to reach anywhere from 75 to 82 cents. The structural demand for AI memory solutions is clearly, undoubtedly accelerating, not slowing down.
We've just seen exactly how Rambus positioned themselves as a literal toll booth on the AI data highway, turning the massive technical hurdles of AI infrastructure into just record-breaking financial success. But, they aren't the only ones operating in this ecosystem. As AI workloads continue to expand and the demand for processing power grows exponentially, that data bottleneck is only going to get tighter and tighter. So I want to leave you with this question to think about. Who else stands to profit from solving these exact same hardware bottlenecks? The AI gold rush is in full swing, guys. And as Rambus's Q2 results so brilliantly illustrate, sometimes the most profitable business you can be in is just selling the cutting-edge picks and shovels. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.